Jane Austen and her sister Cassandra shared many aspects of their lives, including a bedroom. In a letter, Jane wrote that she had made herself 2 or 3 caps which save a world of torment as to hairdressing, that she wore her hair plaited up out of sight, and that her fringe curled well enough to need no papering. Women who shared their living space also helped one another in dressing. Short-sleeved linen shifts were worn next to the skin, and corded cotton stays provided support. The stays could be waist-length or shorter and usually laced closed at the back. Full-length linen or cotton petticoats were worn over the stays to smooth out their outline. They were usually fastened closed at the back by means of narrow cotton tapes fed through the neckline and the high waistband and adjusted to fit. Regency stays were more flexible than those that preceded them, allowing more freedom of movement. Pale-coloured stockings were held in place by garters tied below the knee. Shoes were flat-soled and made of fabric or leather. A short blouse-like garment, called a chemisette, was sometimes worn beneath a gown to fill in the neckline. Like most Regency women's wear, it was tied in place by adjustable drawstrings. Chemisettes came in many different styles, but most were made from plain fabric. The blue gown is made from a resist-dyed indigo cotton, with a delicate flower design in white. The bodice has tapes sewn on the inside of the waist, which are tied inside the gown to hold the waistline firm. The bodice is then closed by means of a drawstring at the neck and a hook and eye at the waist. The front-fastening white gown is made from a cotton muslin with raised dots. It is an apron front or full front gown, which was another popular style in the early 1800s. The bodice has a crossover front which would be pinned or tied into place. The bib front is pulled up, much like an apron front, and pinned or buttoned into place. The apron has ties which run from the front, through handmade belt loops, and tie at the back. A tiny cushion bustle is hidden in the small of the back of the dress to lift the gathers of the skirt. Jane preferred to wear her handmade day caps to save time otherwise spent on hairdressing. A neckerchief or shawl was worn over the low neckline, sometimes tucked in or left prettily on display. Little is known of the jewellery owned and worn by Jane and Cassandra, and some still survives, such as Jane's turquoise and gold ring. In time, Jane found that she needed to wear glasses in order to write. She wrote at a portable desk placed on a small table. It was in the desk that she kept all her writing materials and her manuscripts. The sisters remained very close to one another throughout their lives. The famous portraits of Jane were created by Cassandra. Each was a brief moment caught in pencil and watercolour. It was Cassandra who nursed Jane through her final illness, cradling her head upon a cushion on her lap as her precious life ebbed away, aged only 41. Cassandra afterwards wrote, "I have lost a treasure, such a sister, such a friend as never can have been surpassed.